Eva Pikova died in Auschwitz 2 years after Fear was written. Her poem belongs to a remarkable collection of writings by the children of a Czechoslovakian ghetto. Hanus Hachenburg's poem, Terezin, describes the experience of living there.
That bit of filth in dirty walls and all around barbed wire, and 30,000 souls who sleep, who once will wake and once will see their own blood spill. I was once a little child, 3 years ago, the child who longed for other worlds, but now I am no more a child, for I have learned to hate. I am a grown-up person now. I have known fear.
Probably the finest creative heritage has come out of the Terezin or Theresienstadt concentration camp. It was near Prague. A camp which was really phony, totally, in the sense that the Nazis set it up to show the world how well and kindly Jews were treated.
The Nazis transformed the appearance of the ghetto to make this propaganda film. Overcrowded, famine and disease-ridden, in reality Terezin was no more than a staging post on the road to death. Only 1% survived the transports to Auschwitz.
Nevertheless, within Theresienstadt, there developed serious culture. Painters, composers, poets, an opera.
In their attempt to deceive the world about the nature of Terezin, the Nazis allowed the Jews a measure of freedom and cultural events were encouraged. But Victor Ullmann's opera, The Emperor of Atlantis, never reached performance when the Nazis realised it was a bitter allegory of fascism. Like much of the creative work to come out of the Holocaust, the opera was a witness to the power of the human spirit in the face of the Nazi regime. There were also children in the ghetto. Despite a ban on teaching, they were given secret daily classes in drawing, poetry and music, and encouraged to make artistic responses to what they saw around them. These precious works are testaments to their short lives. Of the 15,000 children who passed through Terezin to Auschwitz, only 100 returned.
I constantly am aware of how much creativity was lost with them, how much love and laughter, who knows what diseases they could have cured and what problems they could have solved. And so there is both an admiration and an almost unspeakable longing on my part for these lovely innocents who would have been contemporaries very nearly. And you also wonder how come I survived, they didn't.
In the flame of candles, by my bed I sleep, and once perhaps I'll understand that I was such a little thing, as little as this song. These 30,000 souls who sleep among the trees will wake, open an eye, and because they see a lot, they'll fall asleep again.
When I was there, I was a kid. I was not yet 14 when I went in, and I was just 15 when I was finished. So I don't suppose I was particularly philosophical, but there were some things I knew then. For example, I knew we were innocent, and that our captors and tormentors, and indeed our killers, who looked so elegant and so powerful, actually they were the guilty ones. Now I knew that. I also knew, even as a kind of child, a middle-aged child that I was, that of course God was there with us. And I understood something then. I don't think I could have put them then into these words, but I do now, that what of course happened and what made that whole tragedy possible was that God was dethroned. Something monstrous happened at the heart of Western civilization. There was an enormous act of betrayal of God, of religious traditions. And when that happens, almost anything and everything becomes thinkable and then doable. And that is what happened.